Hi, everybody. I wanted to jump on. Jason's already recorded his half of our just reaction to the governing body's recent announcement about changes to the disfellowshipping policy, some dress code changes, more minor things. I know he's already shared his viewpoint on the whole thing, and even though we're best friends, we have different viewpoints on a lot of things related to faith. So I just wanted to just make my half my half of what I think of it overall. Um, a lot of mixed emotions, of course. The first being just so much anger and just disgust with the whole thing. Um, I know his experience with the disfellowshipping arrangement in his family was a little bit different than mine. Nobody in my immediate family was ever disfellowshipped, but I did have a grandmother who I was only ever able to speak to twice in my whole life because she was disfellowshipped my whole life. So I met her once when I was about 10, and I spoke with her another time shortly before she passed away when I was in my early 20s. And growing up, when I asked why she was never part of our lives, it was always presented to me that she chose not to be part of our lives. And it wasn't until I was a grown adult that I understood that she wanted to be part of our lives. She wanted to be our grandmother and to know us individually, all her grandchildren. But because she was not willing to um, rejoin the organization, that was never allowed for her. That was never an option for her to be a part of our lives. I just didn't know that as a kid. And of course, as an adult, it breaks my heart to know that there was a family member out there, especially an elderly lady, a widow, who would have loved to have been a grandma and been a more actively involved mother with her adult children. And she just never got that opportunity. So I definitely have a lot of bitterness about that. But as far as the changes made to the disfellowshipping protocol, half of my brain knows that when you are active in the organization, you need something happy to hang on to. Um, it's a very sad way to live, and I know witnesses will deny that to the bitter end. They'll die on that hill that this is the best life. I don't believe that's the case. That's why depression and anxiety is so rampant among current and former members. So I can see from their perspective that if they're viewing it as like, oh, this is, another way that God is, showing his mercy to us, or, this is a kindness that he's bestowing on us. I can see why the JW mindset would be like, oh, yay. That's not the case. Um, as far as how you're suddenly able to offer a greeting to a disfellowship person that attends the Kingdom Hall, that's so patronizing to me that you are suddenly able to just say hello and that's it. To me, that would be worse than no one speaking to me at all. Um, that's just my personal opinion. I I personally believe, I'm a Christian, and I personally believe that when Jesus died, when he said it is finished, this is what he was talking about. He was talking about this is the end of all these ridiculous, man made, arbitrary rules, all of this legalism that we see rampant in religion today, that started way back with the Pharisees in the first century. When he said it's finished, he's saying that the punishments that humans impose upon each other when they fall short of righteous requirements, that's done. His blood paid for that. And that's why I don't feel like I live under spiritual bondage. I mean, yes, I'm still imperfect. I repent when I make mistakes, but I don't feel that I am so far out of touch with his love that that kind of punishment or that kind of mental anguish that they impose on people that make mistakes is fitting, because it's not. People have asked me numerous times, oh, why do they choose shunning? Why do they choose disfellowshipping? Why don't they make people, do acts of service to earn their way back in, or pray the rosary, or You know, so many Hail Marys to atone for what they've done. Why shunning? They choose it because it hurts the most. It's a core need for people to be connected with their social circle and their families. So if you want to get the most bang for your buck, they believe, as far as reaching someone on an emotional level, they're going to strip away the thing that's closest to them, and that is their network of people. Isolation is terribly effective because it's painful. It's horrible. It's a horrible setup. So I would just encourage anybody, if you're reading over these changes or watching the video about these changes to the arrangement, just take a step back and really examine the whole arrangement of disfellowshipping and shunning, and ask yourself, is there anywhere that aligns with the true gospel of Jesus? And I encourage you to read that on your own. I know that really changed my life for the better in more ways than I can possibly enumerate. But these little tweaks to a cruel um, a cruel punishment system, that's not a crumb from the master's table. That's not some mercy that's being bestowed on you. That's a legal corporation clawing its way, trying to stay in the good graces of the government because they've got themselves in hot water for the anguish that they inflict on people. And now it's affecting their bottom line, and they're desperate to um, try to turn the ship in a different direction um, to save themselves. So I just feel like members deserve more. You deserve more. Um, so do your due diligence and find it, because I personally feel like um, the the relationship and the peace and the love that like Jesus holds out for people, it's so much more, and it's so far beyond this ridiculous system that they're implementing. So that's my personal take on it. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, friends.